Okay, we will proceed to the next part. Here you will just read out this article. Sky, you may start now.
The 2021 Global Air Quality Report. The World Health Organization (WHO) has air quality guidelines to help governments make laws to protect public health. IQ-Air is a company that tracks global air quality every year. According to IQ-Air, 2021 was a bad year. Only 222 of 6,475 cities had air quality that met the WHO standards. The Scandinavian countries, Canada, the UK, Japan, and Australia were in the top 10 countries, but even they exceeded the guidelines by 1 to 2 times. US air quality worsened in 2021 and exceeded the guidelines by 2 to 3 times. Pakistan, India, and Bangladesh were among the countries with the worst air quality, about 10 times over the guidelines. China also ranked low but had improved. PM 2.5 particles in air pollution are tiny but deadly. When inhaled, they get into the bloodstream and can cause illness like asthma and heart disease. The WHO reported that 4.2 million deaths in 2016 were associated with tiny air particles. Major causes for poor air are the use of fossil fuels, not following pollution laws, and wildfires. Glory Hames, CEO of IQ Air North America, said that drastic action is needed in order to reverse the tide of global warming. Otherwise, the impact would be irreversible.
Thank you for reading it. Do you have any questions?
I have no question.
This time we will try to have a discussion
Okay.
about the article today. Number one, is it very important for cities to have good air quality?
Yes, I think it's very important for cities to have good air qualities. Um, so there are a lot of people who work there where so but air quality is big effect of the our health.
Hmm,
So that's why it's very important for cities to have good air quality.
that's all.
That's all.
Thank you for answering it. We will now read the sample answer here. Please repeat. It is very important. Yes, it is very important for cities to have good air quality because cities are where lots of people work on a daily basis. So, if the air quality is bad, it will negatively affect a lot of people.
Okay. It's very
Please
important for
read.
cities to have. Yes, it's very important for cities to have good air quality because cities are where lots of people work on a daily basis. So if the air quality is bad, it will negatively affect a lot of people.
No, it's not very important for cities to have good air quality because most people in cities work in offices and buildings that have their own air filtration systems, so they are safe from any outdoor air pollution.
Now it's very important for cities to have good air quality because most people in cities work in offices and buildings that have their own air filtration systems, so they are safe from any outdoor air pollution.
All right, we will have number two. Sky, do you think that fossil fuels are still important nowadays?
Yes, I think fossil fuels are still important nowadays, especially um,
In Japan?
yeah, especially Japan. So we are we were used we used like nuclear electricity plants,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, 10 years ago, big earthquake and tsunami hit Japan, and
Mm-hmm.
nuclear plants had very big damage and explosion. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people think nuclear plants should should be stopped to protect explosion. So instead of the nuclear plants, we have to use fossil fuels to make electricity.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you for that. Now let's read the sample answers here. Yes, fossil fuels are still important nowadays because some countries that cannot yet afford to switch to renewable energy need to continue using fossil fuels for their electricity.
Yes, fossil fuels are still important nowadays because some countries that cannot yet afford to switch to renewable energy need to continue using fossil fuels for their electricity.
No, fossil fuels are not important nowadays because what is important now is moving to renewable energy that does not harm the planet. We need to stop using fossil fuels because they are not worth the harm they are doing to the planet.
Now, fossil fuels are not important nowadays because what is important now is moving to renewable energy that does not harm the planet. We needed to stop using fossil fuels because they are not worth the
The
harm
harm.
they are doing to the planet.
Mhm. No questions so far, Sky.
Uh, no, no question.
You're good so far. Okay, we'll have number three now. Which do you think is a faster way to reduce air pollution? Banning non electric vehicles
Mhm.
or decreasing industrial emissions?
Uh,
Faster way.
First away, I think first away is
Decreasing industrial
decreasing
emission.
industrial emissions instead of banning non-electric vehicles. So non-electric vehicles, it's also a good way to reduce the air pollution, but it's difficult to buy. So electric vehicle is very expensive and electric charging station is very few. So if you want to buy the electric vehicles, there are a lot of problems to solve.
Hmm.
So, yeah, decreasing industrial emission is faster, I think, especially
Hmm.
China and the US.
Yeah, I also agree with your personal opinion
Mhm.
about decreasing industrial emissions. But um, does the government in Japan support it?
Mm.
Do you think they will support that? You know, they will decrease industrial emissions because
Yeah,
everything, should be controlled by the government,
yeah,
should
government,
be approved.
yeah, they doing support in the to
Mm,
reduce the emissions, but it's not enough.
mm, yeah, because government also
Mhm.
thinks about growing more the economy.
The,
Yeah, making
yeah, so
industrialized world. Yeah,
our
so
economy is sustainable.
mm, mm,
Mm, it's not good.
mm,
The Japanese government, they think most important thing is growing economy.
mm,
Mm.
yeah, that is, it's sad, but it's the reality, right?
Yeah, it's a reality. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. We will read now the answers. I think banning non electric vehicles is a faster way. This is because it's simpler to change to electric vehicles instead of stopping factories where we rely on our businesses and daily needs.
I think banning non-electric vehicles is a faster way. This is because it's simpler to change to electric vehicles instead of stopping factories where we rely on our businesses and the daily needs.
I think decreasing industrial emissions is a faster way. This is because there are a lot of factories that emit too much carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. So, if the number is reduced, the air quality would greatly improve.
I think decreasing industrial emissions is a faster way. This is because there are a lot of factories that emit too much carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. So if the number is reduced, the air quality would
Reduced. Number is
reduced. Sorry.
reduced.
So if the number is reduced, the air quality would greatly improve.
Mm. Okay, let's move to number 4. Sky, which do you think is the bigger problem? Air pollution or noise pollution?
Air pollution is a bigger problem
Mm.
than pollution. So air pollution is a big effect of our body health, but noise pollution is only affect our mind health.
Mm. Our concentration, I
Mhm.
think.
Yes,
But air pollution is more serious because it can uh, it can attack our health or target our health.
yeah,
Yeah, and health is our health is the most important thing
yes, that's right.
because when we are in bad health, of course, we cannot do the things that we want to do. So our health is the most important. Yeah. And in connection to air pollution, it's really bad. Yeah. How is the air pollution in your area in Japan?
It depends
What's the
on the
status there?
yeah. Sometimes PM 2.5.
2.5?
Yes,
Mm.
it's coming from China.
Ah,
Yeah,
really?
so a
So,
big
what kind
effect
of
our
action the government?
no action.
No action.
Yeah.
Does the government knew about that problem, but they
Mhm.
just ignore it.
Only complain to China.
Com- okay. Yeah. Wow. I feel bad for feel sorry for the people there
Mhm.
because of the pollution. But it's not as so serious like in China, right?
Yeah, China is
Yeah, but
very
knowing
serious
that it's from
pollution.
China,
Mhm.
so the government must do something about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Let's have the answers now. I think air pollution is the bigger problem because it's very difficult to deal with. Also, it takes time for air pollution to subside once measures are taken to reduce it.
I think air pollution is the bigger problem because it's very difficult to deal with. Also, it takes time for air pollution to subside once measures are taken to reduce it.
I think noise pollution is the bigger problem because it can really affect people's quality of life. Living in a noisy environment can give people a lot of stress and frustration.
I think noise pollution is a bigger problem because it can really affect people's quality of living or life. Living in a noisy environment can give people a lot of stress and frustration.
Number five, Sky. Do you think having more green spaces in urban areas would help increase air quality?
Yes, I think having more green spaces in city side urban areas would help increase air quality, but it's just a little bit.
Mm.
Yeah, green spaces can release oxygen instead of carbon dioxide, but it's not a big effect
Mm.
on the air pollution. Just a little bit. Um, yeah, green spaces make.
Do you live in Tokyo, in Japan?
In Osaka.
Ah, okay. I
Mhm.
see. Which is which do you prefer, Osaka or Tokyo? Which has a greener environment, Osaka or Tokyo?
I don't like both of them.
Both are the same.
Yeah, it's big
Ah,
city and there are a lot of
mm,
people, crowded and very noisy,
mm.
so I feel stress. Yeah.
Do you live in the center of Osaka or suburban?
Suburban.
Mm.
Mm,
It's good. I think there are green things there.
yeah.
Like see trees. Yeah, green field. Yes, I think having more green spaces in urban areas would help increase air quality. This is because trees may help reduce air pollution by absorbing carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen.
Yes, I think having more green spaces in urban areas would help increase air quality. This is because trees may help reduce air pollution by
Absorbing.
absorbing carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen.
I do not think having more green spaces in urban areas would help increase air quality. This is because urban areas have too many vehicles and factories, so trees aren't able to cope with all the pollution.
I don't think having more green spaces in urban areas would help increase air quality. This is because urban areas have too many vehicles and factories, so trees aren't able to cope with all the pollution.
Mm. Last question now, Sky. Do you think that the environmental situation will improve in the near future?
I don't think so. So,
Mm.
it depends on the China and the US.
Okay,
Yeah.
you really name countries that can be the culprit COVID.
Yeah, big
Yeah.
countries should deal with air
Mm,
pollution. Yeah, like
mm.
yeah, especially
I
China.
think yeah, so many CO2 coming from coming from America and
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
the China. Yeah, they both produce a lot of emissions.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then those countries are strong their governance
Yeah.
and control of the people. Even other countries, yeah, they you know can't be tamed easily be tamed by other countries.
Mhm.
Yes, I think that the environmental situation will improve in the near future because more and more people are becoming aware of their environment and starting to living sustainably, and governments doing more to protect the environment.
Okay. Oh, running out
Unfortunately,
of
we don't have
time.
time. Thank you so
Thanks so
much.
much. Good
See you next
night.